My name's Sarah, and today we are filming my blush declutter. Who calls it that? Blush? I don't remember. But here it is. It's this huge, well, what feels huge to me, this huge drawer that actually clearly won't close. I've got serum blushes, stick blushes, creams, powders, the whole 9 yards, and this needs to be whittled down. So that's what we're going to tackle today. I have my assistant here. This is Otis. He's going to help me. He's going to help me do this. So without further ado, let's jump into it, shall we? Okay guys, this is what we were working with. These are all of my powder products, and these are all of my creams and sticks and serums. The Colourpop is, you know, it's a super shark, so kind of a cream. So I have 27. I have 27 blushes. Blah, so many. And I don't want to keep all this. I don't really have a target for, just like all my other declutter videos. I do not have a specific number I'm trying to get to. I'm only going to declutter what I'm truly not using, what I do not have an interest in using. There are a few of these blushes that I have actually not had a chance to try yet, and so I will not be decluttering those because I want to try them. I might declutter them after I have had a chance to use them, but I'm not interested in decluttering just to declutter. I truly dislike that part of declutter culture. I am looking, as I am embarking on my no-buy here, I mentioned that in my first video in my declutter series, which I will link in the cards, my eyeshadow palette declutter. I have now been on a makeup and beauty product no-buy for about a month. And so as I'm going through this declutter process, I'm bearing in mind that I'm not repurchasing these items for quite some time. I don't have a specific end date in mind, but it's certainly not going to be anytime soon. I would love to get through at least the rest of this year without purchasing anything else, possibly longer than that. So I'm not decluttering just to declutter. I'm truly decluttering because I want to use what I have. I want to know what I have, truly love it, and truly use it. So sometimes with a collection of this size, I get so put off that I end up just using the same 1 or 2 items because I don't even know where to begin, as you can see. So all that being said, let's get started. I think I'm going to start with my cream products because I have fewer of those. Okay, so let's start with this one. This I bought on Shop Miss A. This is an AOA Studio Hush Cream Sheer Blush. It's in the shade Cozy. I'm actually going to take my watch off so that doesn't interfere with swatching. I promise I'm going to stay in frame this time. In my last video, I kept holding things up here. So I bought this for a Shop Miss A haul video that I did, and it's fine. There's nothing wrong with this. It's a pretty color. It applied fairly well. It's nice, but it's just nothing special. I have not reached for it since that video, so I'm going to pass this on. I think this was $1 or $1.88. So these are, if you were truly seeking a new cream blush, I would not deter you from these. This is not something I would encourage you to rush out and buy, though. I think there are certainly better cream blushes on the market if you're truly going to buy cream blushes. So first pass. Okay, these Milani Blushes. So these are their Cheek Kiss cream blushes. This is the shade 110 Nude Kiss. And this is the shade 120 Coral Crush. And this is one of the shades that I have not used yet. I have not even opened this, which is absurd. And I'm actually kind of surprised that swatch is not quite as intense as I thought it might, which makes me happy. these are two that I have not gotten much use out of because I have such an overwhelming amount of blush, and I'm not sure what to do with these, truly. I remember I've used this one a few times and it was fine. I don't remember it being anything that just blew my socks off, but I also don't remember having anything truly negative to say about it. So I think what I want to do with both of these is to keep these and get some more use out of them. And then perhaps declutter them in a future declutter if I'm not getting use out of them. This is the Colourpop blush sticks. This one is in the shade Cool It. I got this on clearance, I want to say, from either Colourpop or Ulta, and I am absolutely shocked at how much I love this. I love it so much. It applies so well. I didn't know if I would truly like this color. I think this was like the only shade left. I'd been wanting to try this formula, and this was the only shade left. This was a cooler shade than I really would have preferred to get, and I completely fell in love with this. This is one of my most reached for cream blushes, and I actually adore this shade. So this just applies so well. I just take this, honestly, and dot it on the apple of my cheek, and then I can either just take my ring finger and tap it out, or I can take a sponge, I can take a brush. It doesn't pick up the product underneath it. It blends so easily, so I can make it more intense if I want to. I can kind of build it up, or I can sheer it out a little bit if I want just more of kind of a wash of color. So I can't say enough good things about these. Again, I'm hesitant to, as I'm on a no buy, I'm hesitant to encourage people to go out and buy products, because you probably, if you have dozens of blushes like I do, you don't need to go out and buy a blush. If you were planning to pick one of these up and you are searching for reviews on this product, I can tell you they're good and I do recommend them. And I'll leave it at that. So I'm definitely keeping that one. This is another one that I have not tried yet, and I want to. It's the Colourpop Serum Blush, the Cheek Dew, in the shade Rumors. And I've heard like really mixed reviews about these. I picked up quite a bright shade, which I'm a little nervous about, but part of the reason I felt comfortable doing that is because all the reviews I saw said that these really do sheer out. And I don't really have a blush this tone, so I took a leap and grabbed it. So this is another one that I've never used because I have too much and I really want to, so I'm going to keep that. This one is the e.l.f. multi-stick, the monochrome multi-stick in the shade Bronzed Cherry, and it's pretty. I don't hate it, but I just don't reach for it. It's such an interesting formula. You put this on, and I don't know if you can't see it, but all these other cream blushes, you put them on and they feel like a cream or a liquid or whatever, and then they eventually dry down over time. This one, you put it on and then it instantly feels like a powder when you touch it. It's so interesting, the texture of this. It's this really pretty bronzy tone, but I've worn this once since I bought it, and I just did not love the way it looked on my skin. I don't know if it's the tone or the way it blended out, but I just didn't love it. I didn't love it right away. I think there are some products that you can try and this is okay, or I'm not sure how I feel and I want to try it again. This was not the case. I immediately thought, I don't really like this. So I'm going to pass this one on as well. This is the Colourpop Super Shock blush in Between the Sheets. This is a completely matte blush, and I don't think I've ever tried a Super Shock blush prior to this one. So I want to say this is my first one, and this is an interesting formula. It's definitely much more dry than my other cream products, with the exception of this one. But it gives this it's kind of similar actually in shade, I think, to this other one. They're fairly close. I think it's slightly more pink than, this is the blush stick I have from Colourpop. I think it's, gosh, just barely more pink, but this one gives more of, I'm trying to think of how to describe it, like this blushing, diffuse look, almost. I don't know if you can see that, but I really like this product, and I want to get some more use out of it, so I'm gonna keep this one too. Okay, these are difficult for me, guys. I adore this formula. Oh my gosh. I have 5 of these. They're obviously the e.l.f. Putty Blushes, and oh my gosh, I only have 4. This is an eye primer. Wrong video. 4, okay, that's marginally better. I honestly don't foresee myself getting rid of any of these. I will swatch them for you. This was the first one I got. I think it's in the shade Bora Bora, is that right? This is one thing that drives me nuts about some e.l.f. packaging, is that the shade is not clearly... I know I have the shades Bora Bora, I want to say Tahiti, maybe Turks and Caicos. Oh my goodness. None of these have the shade names on them. Gosh, okay. This is the bright pink one, but this was the first one I got, and it terrified me because it's so bright pink. I'm getting a ton of it. But when you apply it, like you saw how much I got on my finger. When you apply it, it shears out so well, but you can build it up too. So you can really shear this out to give the prettiest pink, like baby doll pink flush. Or you can really kind of pile it on and more kind of tap it in instead of rubbing it to build it up for this kind of intense pink flush. So, and this color between my creams and my powder blushes is totally unique to my collection. So I know I want to keep that one. This might be the next one I got. This is more of an orangey tone. I'm running out of swatch space. This is also, as you can see, more of kind of a unique color to my collection. Oh. I am convinced that I must just be missing where the shade names are on these. But I really just don't see them. Okay, this one is more brown tone. Just kind of go down the side. And then this one here is like a cranberry tone. And like I said, the deeper tones worried me more initially, but after I tried the pink one and realized how sheer you could make these if you wanted, it made me so much more comfortable. And I feel like people have kind of a hit or miss, love or hate relationship with these, but I truly love them. So as crazy as this is, I think I'm gonna keep all of these. The colors, these 4 colors are quite different from each other. And I really don't have like these colors. If any of them, I think these 3 are kind of similar to each other. That's this one, let's see, this one, and did I swatch? Yes, I did. Maybe this one. I think those are the most similar, but the rest of them are just are different enough that, and I love cream blush. It's so trendy right now. I'm keeping these, guys. And as I play around more, I think with these, as I try this, there's a chance I may not keep these. So that would leave me with these. I truly love this formula. I adore this formula. And these I want to get to know more. So I feel okay about this. This is still a lot of cream blush though. But, you know, c'est la vie. Okay, I'm going to start with these. These are the easiest because although somehow they don't look like it, but these are actually duplicate products. Hi, buddy. I bought this one. This is Wet n Wild Mellow Wine. I bought this one and somehow I must have not realized I had purchased this shade, and I repurchased it and didn't get it together in time to return this. So this is not even been opened. It still has the seal on it, and this is an amazing blush. I love this. This is like an OG classic. It's one of my favorites. I've had this back when it was in this old packaging and used most of it, and it's just such a pretty kind of pinky, peachy, mauvey neutral shade. It blends out, it blends well, it wears well. For me, this is a great color. It's a really affordable product, and I love this. Love it. Gosh. It's another no-brainer for me. This is another one of my favorite blushes. You can tell this is like one of the only products I've ever hit pan on. I should be honest and say this did at one point break. I dropped it and a little chunk broke out, but it didn't, like, I didn't get panned because of the chunk. I then got panned from using it. It's the Ulta Beauty Mineral Blush in Tiger Lily, and I bought this based on a recommendation from Kathleen Lights, oddly enough. And I bought a few other, when I bought this one, I bought a few other blushes from this line, and they were all good, but nothing as special as this one. And this one has endured while the others have gone through being decluttered. And the camera is just probably not going to pick up on how special this is, but if you are similar at all in undertone and skin tone to me, this product is so special. I love this. It's definitely a shimmery blush, but it just gives you the most beautiful kind of natural healthy glow. I love it. So I'm definitely keeping this one. I'm kind of this stuff all in frame. I'm sorry. Sorry. Okay, this is another one of my all-time favorite blushes. This is e.l.f. The Primer Infused Blush in Always Spicy. And I almost didn't buy this because it seems clearly not intended for someone with my skin tone. I feel like this was probably a blush meant for someone with a little bit of a deeper skin tone. But I am so glad I bought this. It has turned out to be one of my favorite blushes. I'm doing quite a heavy swatch here, so I don't apply it this profusely, but I love the color of this. It's almost like a bronzer, but it's just red-ish enough that it comes across as a blush. I love how it applies. I love the wear time of this. Like I said, again, I keep referencing my skin tone, but on my undertone, I have a warm undertone. I'm definitely a yellowy undertone. I adore this. This is one of my most favorite blushes. It's the one I'm wearing today. I love it. Highly recommend these. I think these are like $6. Okay. This one. I'm going to pass this one on. This is the LA Colors Single Blush in the shade Toast. And this is actually not a bad blush. I bought this at the Dollar Tree for my full face of dollar store makeup video. And this was one of the few products that I kept because it really surprised me. The only thing I don't like about this is that it has these little like micro glitters in it. I obviously don't mind a shimmery blush, but this one, I think it's kind of, it almost looks like it's on the top, like an overspray, because as I kind of wear it away, those seem to become less frequent, what's wrong with me? There aren't as many sparkles. But the main reason I think I want to pass this on is that it's just, I haven't reached for it since I used it in that video, and it's not a color that is particularly unique or special. I have a few other colors that are similar to this, both in terms of cream blushes and I think another powder blush. This one might be similar. Let me check. This is my Tarte Feisty. Yeah, that one's close enough to me, and I adore the Tarte formula that I just don't feel the need to keep this one. That being said, I do really like the Tarte formula, and I believe this is my only Tarte blush still, so I'm going to be keeping that one. Okay, the Nars blushes. I have two. I have Orgasm, which we all know about. And then I have this one, Sin. And Orgasm I'm definitely keeping. This actually is, I think, the only blush I have ever completely used up. I bought this, I want to say when I was in high school, maybe. I like saved my money, and this was one of the first high-end makeup products I ever bought. And for a long time, this was like the only blush I wore, and I completely used it up. Like not a speck left in the pan. I mean, it took me years to do it, but... And then my husband, a few years ago, so kindly repurchased this for me as a gift. And so it's really special to me. You guys know what this blush looks like. It's got a little bit of hard pan, so... And my fingers are... This is not like swatching at all on my arm, oddly enough. I mean, you can see it on my finger. We all know what this blush looks like. How weird. How strange is that it's not swatching? Anyway, so I'm going to keep this one. This one, though, I struggle with. I really enjoy the color of this. It's really unique to my blush collection. I have nothing, as you can see, like this. I don't reach for this, though, and I'm not sure why, because in the winter, this is really a lovely color. I think I want to keep this and try and use this fall and winter and see if I get some use out of it. And if I do not, away I will send it. All right, this one. I'm going to finally pass this one on. This is Wet n Wild's Color Icon blush in the shade Berry Shimmer. I don't even think they make this anymore. It's too deep for me. It just is. It's too deep for me. I don't wear it. It's a great blush. This is a great formula, but I pass this on to someone who will get more use out of it than I will. This one, the CoverGirl True Blend Blush in the shade, what shade is this? Pink? Medium Rose. 200 Medium Rose. This they don't make anymore, and that's a bummer because this is a really nice blush. It's a really nice, just pink blush. I like this. I wear it a lot. I don't really have any other blush like this. I think I want to keep this. This I'm going to pass on. This is the e.l.f. Bite Size blush in the shade Watermelon. And I bought one of these, which was silly. None of the colors super appealed to me, but I wanted to try them because there was so much hype, which is ridiculous. The ridiculous reasons we buy things. I'm gonna have to start swatching on my other arm. And so these come with, as you all know, I'm sure, like a shimmery blush and a highlighter. And this is just too much shimmer for me. I would never personally choose to wear a blush this shimmery and then wear a highlighter over top. If you like to do that sort of thing, these may be ideal for you, but that's just not my personal journey. I also find them just to be slightly lackluster. I mean, for $3, they're fine. Like maybe if you are a younger person and you're just starting to build a makeup bag, this might not be a horrible idea. But for me, I'm not using it, passing it on. Okay, this one. This is my only Kylie Cosmetics product. This is the pressed blush powder in the shade We're Going Shopping. And I was looking for kind of like an orangey, peachy blush, and these were, of course, all on sale at Ulta. I forgot I was switching my arm for, I think, $8. Because the rebrand was pending. I think this is close enough, honestly, to my Wet n Wild Mellow Wine. Oh gosh, no, it's not. Those are different. What am I thinking of? Well, probably, honestly, I'm realizing this the older I get, that so often when we swatch things like this, we think they look different, but when you get them on the cheeks, they look the same. Yeah, I think with my Tarte blush and my Wet n Wild Mellow Wine, I don't know this. It's a good blush. The formula is good. I like the color. It's just not different enough from the 400 blushes I already have that I need to keep this. Okay, so I'm down to these three. This is the Essence The Blush in the shade Believing. This is the Catrice Oil Infused Cheek Lover Blush in the shade Blooming Hibiscus, which I believe is the only shade of this. And this is Milani Luminoso. All right, let's deal with this one. I'm torn about this one because in terms of my powder blushes, this is a more unique shade. It's not, though. Oh my gosh, it's not. Look at that. I thought it was. So this is the Nars Sin Blush, and then this one is my True Blend. Wow. The lies we tell ourselves. Okay, this is a great formula. It's a great formula. I'm gonna pass this on. I would pass this one on, but this one is so much older, and if I'm thinking about what I would give to someone else, I should keep this one and pass on this one. This one's like less than 6 months old, and powder products last forever, so I'm gonna share this one. And then we have my Broken Luminoso, and this one's new to me. I bought this one. We'll start with this one because I watched an Emily Noel video and she held this up and she did this. And guys, look at it. Just in the pan, it is so visually stunning. And I got it. And it's Catrice, you know, so it's affordable. I ordered it. It was out of stock on Ulta. And so I bought it on the Catrice website. And it's fine. You know, it's fine. It's nothing like crazy on the cheek. I don't know. It's nothing crazy unusual. It looks similar enough, I think, to my Ulta one that I love, or to Nars Orgasm, that I don't need to keep this. I've worn this one time. So I'm gonna pass this on to someone else. And then this one. This packaging drives me bananas. Absolutely bananas. First of all, it's bulky, and does anybody use this business? The brush I always throw away. This blush is so beautiful. It's iconic for a reason, but my last one I had to get rid of because this thing broke, and I kept putting it back in here, but then anytime I would put it in my makeup bag, this would somehow pop loose, even when I had it closed, and the blush just got so damaged. At any rate, I really do like this blush. It's kind of similar to Nars Orgasm, but it's a little peachier. I really feel like I want to compare it to Nars Orgasm, but I'm not. I wasn't able to get this to swatch. Like, this was the strangest thing. I'm gonna try. I feel like I have some hard pan on here, so I'm gonna try scraping with my nail just gently some of the top off of that and try this again. Okay, that already feels different. Okay, that's better. Yeah, so Nars Orgasm is definitely pink. There we go. And Luminoso is definitely peach. Those are different. And then this is another shimmery blush. Compare. This one is much more similar to Nars Orgasm than I thought, but it's almost got more of like a redwood undertone. So we have peach, pink, and more of like a brownie sort of undertone. So I think I want to keep all of those. Okay, I have decluttered a few blushes. I'm feeling like I'm not doing the most with this declutter, but I just checked. I've decluttered some blushes. Let's see what we've decluttered. So I've decluttered 9 blushes, 7 powder blushes, and 2 creams. And then in terms of what I kept, these are my powders that I kept. So I have 8 powders. and 9 creams, I believe. 17? Yeah, 17 blushes. Okay. My count was off because I kept counting what I got rid of and what I'm keeping and coming up with 26. And I was remembering that at the start I had 27, but I forgot that I had thought this e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer was a blush, and it's not. So I started with 26, I decluttered 9, and I've kept 17. So 17 is still a lot of blush, a lot of blush, but blush is one of my absolute favorite color cosmetics, and I frequently will wear just blush, under eye concealer and blush. So this feels better to me. I guess I can open these so you can sort of see what I have here a little bit more clearly, but this is what I'm left with. And I definitely have a little bit of color overlap, but I think not nearly as much as I had before. And when I look at this, I feel like these are things that I love or things that I'm excited to try using. You know, in the case of, I think, some of these that I have not gotten as much use out of. And that's what I'm going for. That's what I want. I want items that I'm excited to use, that I know I love. That's what I have. Hooray. Hooray for me. All right, guys, so this is where we're at now. My drawer is going to be able to close. It's nice and flat. Everything is pretty well organized and fits, and I feel really good about it. I'm excited. I have a more curated arrangement of items that I am looking really forward to using. So thanks for joining me on my blush declutter, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much.